Frank, we're just watching this one right now, just making landfall on the U.S. East Coast in the past few minutes here on Topsail Beach. This is some live images that we are watching right now. You can see just the strength of this storm here. Just in the past hour, a lot of reports of severe flooding, winds upwards of 130. You had a different tracking there, too, depending on where you are. At the end of the day, this is still considered catastrophic. This live look here is at Wilmington, North Carolina. Battered, as you can see, by these torrential rains. The flood waters already above normal. Responders also performing over 100 water rescues. And 150 people, as it stands, are still waiting to be saved. So, a lot to watch here, Frank. I don't know if you're still on standby. But when it comes to what's next, when people hear Category 1, they sort of get thrown off and they think that they downplay it, but not the case at all in this scenario.
So there's a couple things. Number one, there are a lot of large oak trees in the area of the Carolinas, and with that, the ground is fairly wet as it is at this time. So you're having sustained winds at about 150 kilometers per hour. That bends the tree, but then you get the gusts that start to blow as well. That will then take that tree and put that tree right down, and that means significant property damage, a lot of power outages that can happen. That's just the winds. Now it's the rainfall, and that rainfall, slow-moving system, as I was saying, it's just going to take its time. It's just going to sit around and continue to pound rain, and combine with that the storm surge. So there's going to be a lot of complexity with this system. And even though it's a Category 1, people are like, it's just a Category 1. That just speaks to wind. That doesn't speak to rain, storm surge, and then also the significant damage that will and has been happening already this morning, Melanie.
All right, Frank, we'll check in with you in just a little bit as we continue to track Hurricane Florence. Thank you for that. Let's move along to some other news here at home. Police in Hamilton investigating the fatal shooting of a suspected mob boss in Ancaster. This happened around 10 o'clock last night on Sunflower Crescent in the Lincoln Alexander Parkway and Mohawk Road area. Reports that the victim was shot multiple times in the front yard of his home. A search was made of this scene, but so far no arrest has been made. Officers and police have not released any description of any suspects at this point either. A court appearance is set for today for the man accused of plowing a van along the busy section of Yonge Street, killing 10 people, injuring a dozen others. 25-year-old Alec Manassian charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder and 16 counts of attempted murder. He's accused of using a rental van to deliberately hit pedestrians as they walked near Yonge and Finch in April. The victims, 8 women, 2 men, and ranged in age from 22 to 94. Police have still not released a motive, but have ruled out any talk that it was terror-related. Well, Premier Doug Ford ordering MPPs to put in a little overtime this weekend, calling for a rare Saturday sitting at Queen's Park to get passage of a bill aimed at cutting the size of Toronto Council. The government wants to speed along passage of Bill 31, which would eliminate 22 councillors from City Hall. Tomorrow's session will begin at 1. Meanwhile, at City Hall yesterday, councillors voted to ask Ottawa to block the province's proposed cuts. This despite Prime Minister Trudeau saying earlier this week he has no intention of interfering. The city clerk yesterday telling council they are consulting a lawyer to see if that October 22nd vote can be pushed back. One of the issues right now is whether or not there's going to be enough time for advanced voting, which has already been cut down from 9 days to 5. The future of ride-sharing services could be developed right here in Toronto. Uber announcing it will invest $200 million over the next 5 years in our city, and those plans include opening a new engineering hub early next year. Uber currently employing about 200 people in Toronto, but the company is planning to bump that up to 500 in the coming years. Employees at the new engineering hub, will be working on Uber's apps. They will also help deploy new products and services around the world. The company also plans to expand its current self-driving research center that opened in Toronto last year.